All right, it's time to get ready for our Unit 1 test. And so let's go through this review. The first part is sketch the inverse of the function below on the same set of axes. And so we'll take each of these coordinates and switch them. So this first one is -10, 1. And so we'll switch it to be 1, -10. And then we'll go -8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, down to -8. And I'll go ahead and connect these dots as I go, just so I remember which dots connect where. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. -2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go to 4, -1. And then lastly, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4, we'll go to 4, 2. And that's number 1. All right, number 2, we'll do the same thing. 2, 3, 4. So we have -10, -4. -7, -2. -6, 1. Got 3, -3. -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And lastly, 2, 8. There we go. All right, 3 through 6, we'll find the inverses. So this first one, just like we did previous, we'll just switch all the coordinates. And so 1, 12, 5, -3, 3, 4, 7, 10, -12, 6. Number 4, we'll switch the x and y, and then solve for y. So we'll subtract 1 over, and then we'll divide by 5. And so y equals, that's going to be 1/5 x minus 1/5. Again, we'll switch the x and y, subtract 7, and divide by -2. So y equals -1/2 x plus 7/2. Again, we'll switch the x and y. Let's see, we'll add 3 over. Then we'll take the square root. Anytime we take the square root, we put a plus or minus outside to get both sides of that sideways u. And lastly, we'll subtract 4. So y equals plus or minus square root x plus 3, then minus 4 on the outside. All right, number 7, we're going to graph and then reflect those points across the line to find the inverse. So we'll start at 2, and then we'll have a slope of 1/4. So up 1 over 4, up 1 right 4. I'm going to draw that line. do that dashed line at y equals x, because that's the line inverses should reflect over. And then we'll reflect all these points. This was 0, 2. It's now going to be at 2, 0. Let's see, this one's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2, 3, 4, 1 up to 8. So this was my original function, and then this one's my inverse function. On this one, we'll plug in some points. And so if I plug in -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, just some points on the left and right side of 0. -2 squared is 4, plus 1 is 5. -1 squared is 1, plus 1 is 2. 0 squared is 0, plus 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1, plus 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4, plus 1 is 5. Oops. And so now we'll plot all these points. We got 0, 1. So there's the original u. And then now we'll reflect all these points. So we'll go at 1, 0. And then reflect all these other points. So 5, 2 and 5, -2. And there's the sideways u. Verify, this is where we'll do the f of g of x. So we'll plug in the g function into the x of the f. This 7 cancels out with that 7, leaving x minus 15 plus 15. Those cancel out, leaving x. So yes, they are. And we can do the other way as well. G of f of x equals, in place of x, we'll put 7x plus 15 minus 15 over 7. And so on this one, the 15s cancel out, positive 15 minus 15, so we have 7x over 7. 7s cancel out, leaving x. So yes, those are inverses. We'll do the same thing over here. And so for the f of g of x, we'll have 4, 1/4 x plus 4 minus 16. And so that's going to cancel out, leaving x. 4 times 4 is 16, minus 16. And then we'll do the g of f of x as well. So 1/4, 4x minus 16 plus 4. So it's going to be 1x minus 4 plus 4, which equals x. And then again, f of g of x is equal to 3, 1/3 x minus 1 plus 1. And so it's going to be 1x minus 3 plus 1, which is x minus 2. And so no, these are not inverses, but I'll go ahead and do the other one as well. G of f of x is equal to 1/3 3x plus 1 minus 1, which equals x plus 1/3 minus 1. No, that will not cancel out to leave x, so we're good. Going to the next page, this is what you have to memorize for the matching section. So absolute value is y equals absolute value of x, and it looks like a v. Quadratic is y equals x squared, and it's the u. The square root is the one that starts at 0, 0 and goes up and to the right. The rational is my fraction, where it's going to have this little shape in the first quadrant and the third quadrant. It never touches the x-axis or the y-axis. The cubic is x cubed. Has a little S curve that's vertical. Cube root is the same sort of graph, just horizontal rather than vertical. Exponential, we'll just do the exponential growth, 2 to the x. Grows as you go to the right, shrinks as you go to the left, but never touches the x-axis. And then logarithmic looks like the exponential, just instead of going up, it's going to go to the right. All right, then going on to the last page, transformations. That 3 in the front is going to be a vertical stretch because it's greater than 1. That's going to go left 2 and down 5. That negative is going to reflect over the x-axis. -1 is going to go down 1. We've got a reflection over the x-axis. The 1/3 is going to be a vertical compression because it's between 0 and 1. We're going to go right 7 and up 2. And then we're going to go right 4. Domain and range. We'll do both interval and inequality. And so for the domain, the furthest left is -3. It doesn't touch -3 because it's open all the way to infinity. Another way of writing that is x is greater than -3. My range goes from -4 all the way to infinity. And so my y is greater than or equal to -4. Domain, all real numbers. Range, all real numbers. That was quick. Number 26. It's hard to tell on this one. I'll make sure it's clear on the test what it is, but we'll say it doesn't touch this -1 or +1. So we'll have our domain start at 1 but not touching, so it's a parentheses all the way to 3. So my x is between 1 and 3. My range is going to start at -1 and it's open all the way up to infinity. So my y is greater than -1. My domain on this one goes from -3 to +4. So my x is between -3 and 4. My range goes down to -1 up to 4. And so my y is between -1 and 4. This one's a discrete, and so we're going to do that little parentheses sort of a thing and just list all my x's. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then my y values, we've got -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 6. Domain is all real numbers. Range starts at 0 and goes to infinity. And so my y is greater than or equal to 0. And that finishes off our test. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.